Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Roy and today I'm going to be talking about the books I want to read by the end of 2020. Thanks God this year is coming to an end. I mean, this year has been so tough, but we are in the home stretch. We are looking forward to a new year and hopefully a better year in 2021. So let's talk about books. I have today 10 books I want to talk about, the last books I'm planning to read in 2020. So let's begin. The first 3 books are by Stephen King. I'm a huge Stephen King fan. I've read about 35 of his books and I want to read at least 3 more by the end of this year. The first book is Joyland. Joyland is Stephen King's second book in the hard case crime series. The first book was The Colorado Kid and the third book is coming out in March of 2021. So Joyland tells the story of a college student named Devin Jones. He takes a summer job in a carnival after he breaks up with his girlfriend, and I guess spooky things happen because Stephen King. The next book is The Dark Tower, The Wind Through the Keyhole. Now, The Dark Tower is Stephen King's epic, his magnum opus. And all of Stephen King's books are connected through a huge multiverse. And the center of this multiverse is the Dark Tower series. Now, the Dark Tower series has 7 books. And I read all of them last year when I was visiting my family in Brazil. And The Wind Through the Keyhole is kind of a companion novel. It's the Dark Tower 4.5. It takes place between books 4 and 5. And I'm getting around to reading it just now. I don't know why, but I'm definitely going to read it. Hopefully. The last King book is a book I'm ashamed I haven't read yet. I can't call myself a Stephen King fan and not read this book. And it is, of course, Misery. Misery is a huge King classic. It tells the story of an author named Paul Sheldon who gets stranded at the home of his #1 fan, Annie Wilkes. Can't believe I haven't read it yet. I'm definitely going to read it. Definitely. The next 2 books are very talked about books in the last few years. The first one is The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. This is a book written in verse. It's a National Award winner book and just sounds so amazing. I mean, I started it already. I read about 10 of the verses. Yeah, definitely going to read this by the end of the year. I mean, from what I've read, it's so beautiful and Elizabeth Acevedo has a real way with words. The next one is a more recent release and it is The Invisible Life of Eddie Larue by V. Schwab. Now, I haven't read the V. Schwab novel yet. I heard she's supposed to be an amazing writer. She wrote a trilogy named Shades of Magic, which is about parallel universes, which I love. And Invisible Life of Eddie Larue is, again, a very talked about book. It came out, I think, last month, and I started it already. I am about 65 pages in, and it's maybe the best book I've read this year. Based only on those first 60 pages. It is so beautiful. It is exactly what I wanted, a magical realism. And V. Schwab writes so good, I mean, wow, give me some of that talent. The next book is Wonderstruck by Brian Selznick. Brian Selznick is the author of The Invention of Hugo Cabret, and this book is really something. It is a novel in words and pictures, and the book is filled with beautiful illustrations. It just looks so amazing. It looks like a coffee table book, but it is a novel, it is fiction. And I have this book for so long and I can't believe I didn't read it yet. So I'm definitely going to correct that mistake by the end of the year. So I am going to read at least 1 young adult book before the end of the year and 1 romance. So why not combine the 2 with a book that I haven't heard a lot of people talking about, and it is Field Notes on Love by Jennifer E. Smith. I found this book by mistake at the bookstore where I used to work. I guess I bought it because it talks about a lot of things that feel close to my heart. It tells the story of a guy who's supposed to go to a big road trip across America with his girlfriend. And this was supposed to be my life. But then COVID happened. So thank you, COVID. But anyway, this guy goes to his big trip, or supposed to go to this big trip with his girlfriend, but then his girlfriend breaks up with him. So he searches for a girl with the same name of his girlfriend to come and join him in this trip. And I guess romance happens because it's a YA romance novel. But yeah, I mean, it sounds very cute. 2 strangers going on a big trip together, and the 2 things that are close to my heart is one, of course, the big trip across America, which I was supposed to do this year. And the second one is that the girl in the story wants to go to film school, and I went to film school. And I love movies, so maybe some movie love in this book. But yeah, it just sounds cute and feel good, and the cover is beautiful with the blue and the pink and the hearts, and yeah, why not? The next 3 books are more adult fiction. I mean, I know that Stephen King is also adult fiction, but it's more like horror, so I don't know. The first one is If Beale Streets Could Talk by James Baldwin. Now, I read James Baldwin's Giovanni's Room and I loved it, but this is Baldwin's most celebrated work, his masterpiece, if you will. And it sounds like one of those books that makes you look differently on life. A book that takes you in a very hardcore way to the lives of other people. It sounds like a very intimate book. It's a short book, so I guess it won't be too hard for me to squeeze it in till the end of the year. So yeah, If Beale Streets Could Talk. The next book is another very celebrated book by a very celebrated author, and it is The Road by Cormac McCarthy. I never read a Cormac McCarthy book before. This is a Pulitzer Prize winning book. To be honest, it is the only Cormac McCarthy book that I've read about that I wanted to read. So if I want to say I've read a Cormac McCarthy novel, it's going to be The Road. And you know, it feels a bit relevant to our end of the world doomsday times, and it's also, again, not a very, very long novel. And I don't have a lot of spare time, so The Road. And the next book is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. Now, I know that Donna Tartt has her lovers and haters, but I have to say, I loved Donna Tartt's The Goldfinch, and I didn't read any other of her books. And The Secret History just sounds intriguing. You know, like a dark academia book set in New England. I mean, it sounds like my dream and my nightmare wrapped up together. I'm definitely going to try and read The Secret History by the end of the year. It's not going to be a priority, but I will definitely try because I need to read another Donna Tartt novel. And I know I said I'm going to talk only about 10 books, but then I remembered about Barack Obama's A Promised Land. And I mean, whew, I just have to read it. I'm going to listen to this one on audiobook. You know, Barack Obama himself narrates the book. And you know, 30 hours straight of Barack Obama talking? Sounds just magnificent. So yeah, I'm definitely going to listen to A Promised Land by the end of the year. And this is it for today. These are all the books I want to read by the end of 2020. I hope I will be able to read all of them and maybe even more. But those are the priority reads. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a good day, keep safe, love each other. I love you. Until next time, bye bye.